Since ancient times, the Pure Land practice has been like a magnetic vessel ferrying countless beings across, guiding them to transcend the sea of birth and death, suffering, and reach the shore of nirvana. The Buddhas of the 10 directions, and 3 times, each make profound vows to establish pure and splendid Buddha lands. With boundless compassion and wisdom, they guide sentient beings with karmic affinity to be reborn there, diligently practice, and ultimately attain perfect, supreme, right, and equal enlightenment. These pure lands are sometimes founded on gold, symbolizing the firm bodhicitta and the eternal true suchness nature, or adorned with the 7 treasures, representing the completeness of the 7 sacred qualities of realm, samadhi, and wisdom, as well as the manifestation of immeasurable virtues. Residing in the Pure Land, far from the troubles and sufferings caused by the defiling and evil world, practitioners are bathed in the compassionate light and blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This enables them to rapidly cultivate virtuous roots and merits, ultimately achieving the supreme path. However, when Shakyamuni Buddha aided the world, why did he not establish such a supreme pure land directly to guide the beings of the Saha world? This question obscured the wisdom of Venerable Ananda like a veil of dust. He deeply understands that the Buddha's wisdom is as vast as the ocean, surely containing profound considerations and secret deliberations. As the sun sets in the west, the Jiyuan Sutra Hall is bathed in a golden red glow, resembling the jeweled land of the Western Pure Land, radiating a sacred light. Venerable Ananda, with a heart full of reverence, walked slowly toward the Buddha under the Bodhi tree. As one of the 10 great disciples of the Buddha, he was renowned for his extraordinary memory and was honored as the foremost ascetic. However, doubts about the Pure Land have always been unresolved. He understood that only by personally seeking instruction from the Buddha could he truly unravel the confusion in his heart. The Buddha sat serenely beneath the Bodhi tree, his countenance composed and marked by a compassionate smile, as if he had long since understood Ananda's thoughts. At this moment, a peculiar fragrance spread, refreshing and invigorating the mind, bringing joy to the heart. A mysterious visitor is slowly entering through the east gate of the Jiyuan Sutra Society, emanating a faint golden light all around. Every movement and gesture radiates an indescribable aura of tranquility and peace. Ananda approached the Buddha, paid respectful homage, and softly said, "Blessed One, a doubt has long troubled my mind. I earnestly implore your compassionate guidance." The Buddha looked kindly at Ananda and gently said, "Ananda, speak without hesitation. The Tathagata will dispel your doubts." Ananda briefly reserved his thoughts and spoke slowly. The Blessed One's disciples have often heard that all Buddhas in the 10 directions possess pure and adorned Buddha lands, all made possible by the presence of sentient beings with affinities. For example, in the Western Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha, through his boundless vows and compassionate power, ensures that all sentient beings who recite his name are reborn there. But why, Venerable Shakyamuni, did you not establish a pure land specific to the Saha world? Could it be that the beings of this world lack the profound karmic affinities with the Pure Land? Or is it that the sentient beings of the Saha world are burdened with heavy karmic obstacles, making it difficult for them to be reborn in a pure Buddha land? As Ananda's words fell, the surrounding monks held their breath, their eyes filled with eager anticipation. This question was also a doubt in their minds, yearning for the Buddha's answer. The Buddha's gaze grew deep and distant as he looked toward the setting sun in the west. He softly asked, "Ananda, what do you believe is the true Pure Land? How do you understand the Pure Land?" Respectfully, Ananda replied, "O Blessed One, according to the scriptures, the Pure Land is said to be a land of gold, adorned with the 7 treasures. Its pavilions and halls are made from precious jewels, filled everywhere with celestial music, and heavenly flowers fall gently from the sky. There is no suffering or affliction, only purity and joy. All beings who are reborn in the Pure Land are endowed with immeasurable light, infinite lifespan, free from all sorrow, grief, and suffering, and enjoy supreme happiness. Then the Buddha asked, if there truly were such a beautiful Pure Land, do you think sentient beings would necessarily attain liberation? Can the mere purity and dignity of the external environment guarantee that beings will realize nirvana? Just as Ananda was about to respond, a mysterious visitor who had just entered the Chiun Sutra Society suddenly spoke. Allow me to tell a story first. It might help Venerable Ananda resolve his doubts. His voice was like clear spring water flowing over jade, pure and melodious, bringing a sense of tranquility and delight to the heart. Only then did everyone notice the visitor, who radiated a peaceful golden light, possessed a solemn countenance, yet conveyed an inexplicable sense of familiarity and warmth. The visitor slowly recounted that in a distant past, there was a compassionate king who, in order to bring happiness to his people, spared no effort and poured all the resources of the kingdom into building a perfect palace. It was equipped with everything imaginable, extraordinarily luxurious. Even the toilets were made of gold. He firmly believes that when people live in such a beautiful environment, they will surely feel happiness and be free from all suffering. However, the people who moved into the palace soon began to quarrel incessantly. Some resent the smallness of the room. Others complain about the lavish decorations. Some strongly desire to live on the upper floors, and some even fight fiercely over unequal distribution. Ultimately, this palace, originally intended to bring happiness, instead became the source of suffering, causing people to experience even greater pain. At this moment, a melodious bell toll resonated from afar, its lingering sound echoing above the Juan monastery, like celestial harmonics, touching the hearts of those present. The mysterious visitor's eyes sparkled with the light of wisdom as he continued, explaining that the king eventually understood that true happiness does not stem from external circumstances or superiority, but from inner peace and contentment. Venerable Ananda, what do you think this story teaches us? Ananda was just about to respond when he found an unprecedented wave of emotions stirring in his heart. He vaguely sensed that he was about to grasp a profound truth. At this moment, the smile on the Buddha's face deepened. He looked at Ananda and softly said, perhaps you should first ask yourself, what is the true Pure Land? And where is the true Pure Land? A gentle breeze swept through the sutra pavilion, the leaves rustling softly. The figure of the mysterious visitor appeared even more solemn under the sunset. Ananda looked at the mysterious visitor before him and suddenly noticed a detail. His extremely familiar demeanor and expression, that solemnity and compassion, were unmistakably identical to those of the Buddha. A bold idea arose in his mind. You try. Ananda's voice trembled slightly, tinged with a hint of disbelief. The mysterious visitor smiled and nodded. I come from the pure lapis lazuli world of the East, and my name is Baisajuru, the medicine master lapis lazuli light Tathagata. As soon as these words were spoken, the entire assembly comprehended the scripture. The Lord of the Eastern pure lapis lazuli world is precisely the medicine master lapis lazuli light Tathagata, who, through his 12 great vows, saves all sentient beings, granting them physical and mental well-being and freeing them from disease and suffering. Do you all know why I wish to establish the Pure Land? The medicine Buddha compassionately said that it is not to encourage sentient beings to indulge in sensual pleasures or become attached to material desires, but rather to provide them with a sacred field of practice, offering a serene environment to help them distance themselves from worldly distractions, focus wholeheartedly on the path, and ultimately attain enlightenment. The Buddha took up the thread and continued, Ananda, do you know why I do not establish a Pure Land? Could it be that I lack the ability to establish the Pure Land? Seeing Ananda's puzzled expression, the Buddha continued, because the Saha world we inhabit is itself the best Pure Land, and also the most suitable place for spiritual practice. The entire venue was enveloped in silence, with only the distant sound of the bell reverberating, resonating in harmony with the heartbeat of all present. The Buddha pointed to everything around and slowly said, "Look at the soil here. It appears dirty and impure, yet it can nurture pure and undefiled lotus flowers. The various afflictions of a human world are like this mud. They're the steps to open wisdom and the measure for accomplishing Bodhi. As the saying goes, the edge of a treasured sword comes from sharpening. Without undergoing the painful trials, how can one truly appreciate the joy of liberation? All the various afflictions, conflicts, and sufferings in the world are gateways to spiritual practice. Without these magical powers, how can true wisdom manifest? How can the mind of renunciation arise and the joy of nirvana be attained? It is said that afflictions are precisely Bodhi. As long as we skillfully use our afflictions and transform them into the driving force for practice, we can ultimately attain unsurpassed enlightenment." The medicine Buddha smiled gently and added, "The Pure Land is not a refuge to escape reality, but a sanctuary for diligent practice. I established the Pure Land to provide a pure cultivation environment for sentient beings with certain capacities, whereas Shakyamuni Buddha's choice is more supreme, directly transforming the defilement-filled Saha world into the most excellent place of practice. This allows beings to cultivate amidst afflictions, awaken through suffering, and ultimately attain Bodhi." Tears of deep emotion shimmered in Ananda's eyes as he finally understood the profound meaning of the Buddha's teaching. Originally, the Buddha did not establish a pure land, allowing compassion to manifest a deeper wisdom, thereby guiding sentient beings to a more direct and ultimately profound path to liberation. The Pure Land is not elsewhere. It resides within one's own mind. The Buddha compassionately said, "When your mind is pure and unstained, everywhere is a pure land. When your wisdom is awakened, all worldly phenomena become gateways to the Dharma." Every moment of suffering in the Saha world serves as material for cultivating blessings and the path to enlightenment. Every affliction is a key to unlocking wisdom. When the mind is pure, the realm becomes pure. As long as we maintain inner purity, we can transform our environment into a pure Buddha land. The medicine Buddha, Tathagata, compassionately began to say, "The perfection of the environment does not equate to the tranquility of the mind. If the mind cannot attain tranquility, even residing in a splendid pure land will give rise to various afflictions, making it difficult to achieve true happiness. Conversely, if the mind is pure and uncontaminated, even when residing in the suffering-filled Saha world, everywhere becomes a pure land, and one can constantly experience inner peace and joy. Calmness follows the mind. As long as we maintain inner tranquility, we can transform our surroundings into a pure land of serenity." The Buddha continued to say that the unique aspect of the Saha world lies in its provision of the best environment for cultivation and practice. Diligent practice for one day here surpasses practicing for 100 years in other pure lands. Because here lies the most abundant afflictions, it also signifies the most excellent opportunities for practice. To conquer afflictions and attain Bodhi here brings merits that are truly inconceivable. Counterproductive conditions refer to defilements that can be regarded as supportive conditions in our practice, assisting us in swiftly attaining genuine Bodhi. Hearing the teachings of the Buddha and medicine master Tathagata, the monks present all showed profound emotion in their eyes. They finally understood that the Buddha's not establishing a pure land is precisely the greatest compassion, as it points out a more direct and pure path of liberation for sentient beings. Ananda suddenly realized with great clarity and said excitedly, "Disciple understands now. The Buddha is not establishing a pure land is precisely the greatest compassion. This samsara world, filled with afflictions, is actually the most excellent pure land. We should cherish this rare opportunity, diligently cultivate the path, and attain Bodhi at an early time. Indeed, the Buddha compassionately said, "Everyone is desperately searching for the Pure Land, yet they do not realize that the Pure Land is right beneath their feet." Sentient beings always seek outwardly, unaware that inner tranquility is the true refuge. Buddha is not to be sought far on Vulture Peak. Vulture Peak lies only within the heart. We should turn inward to cultivate awareness and seek the Pure Land within our own hearts. One must make the image of the Tathagata gradually become transparent. He compassionately said that different Buddhas realized different methods of teaching, all to accommodate the dependent origination of various sentient beings. Some need to first see the splendor of the Pure Land to generate the intention to seek guidance, while others must directly confront the allure of the Saha world to truly awaken. Convenience manifests in many paths, yet all converge to a single cause and effect. Regardless of the chosen path of practice, the ultimate goal is to attain Bodhi, enlightenment. At the end, Bhaisajiguru Tathagata stated that the Buddha Shakyamuni's path is the most direct and ultimately profound method of enlightenment. It reveals to sentient beings that the Pure Land is not elsewhere, but lies within the mind. We should establish the Pure Land within our own hearts, rather than seeking it externally. As the Medicine Buddha departed, the sunset's afterglow bathed the Chiun Sutra society in a golden hue, resembling a solemn and sacred Buddha realm. The sentient beings in the distance gradually fade away, yet the clarity of awakening grows ever more vivid in the heart of each individual. Ananda looked upon this familiar scene and suddenly realized it was so solemn and pure. Originally, the mirror image has always been right before the eyes, but one has never truly realized it. As long as the mind is pure and unstained, every place becomes a pure land. As long as wisdom is awakened, all worldly affairs serve as gateways to the Dharma. The dialogue of that day not only dispelled Ananda's doubts, but also made everyone present understand a profound truth. Rather than pursuing a pure land elsewhere, it is better to purify one's own mind. Rather than seeking outwardly, it is better to turn inward for awareness. The wisdom that the Buddha did not create a pure land is precisely to teach us that the true Pure Land has never been in a distant place, but within our own hearts. Each of us lives in this troubled Saha world, facing various challenges and difficulties every day. However, as long as we can maintain inner tranquility, dissolve afflictions with wisdom, and treat all beings with compassion, the world we live in will transform into a pure land filled with light and hope. May we all be inspired by the Buddha's teachings, cease seeking externally, and instead turn inward with mindful awareness, purify our hearts, awaken our own wisdom, and transform this troubled Saha world into a pure land filled with light and hope. May we all find true peace and joy in this present year, and attain the supreme enlightenment of unsurpassed Bodhi. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and attain happiness, and soon realize Buddhahood. Amitabha Buddha.